She didn't turn the lights on, and she didn't feel like she needed to. The kitchen was already dark when she walked in. Not completely, just enough to see shapes, outlines, the soft glow from the window barely touching the counter. Eleanor didn't reach for the switch. She noticed it. Of course she did. The familiar place on the wall, the simple action. But she didn't move toward it. Instead, she walked further inside, letting her eyes adjust, letting the room remain exactly as it was. Quiet, dim, still. She opened the fridge. The light inside it felt too bright, almost intrusive. She blinked once, then looked away for a second before reaching in. Something simple, leftovers, nothing special, nothing she had planned. She closed the door, and the brightness disappeared again, the room returning to its soft darkness. Elena stood there for a moment, plate in her hands, not moving, not thinking about turning the lights on, because somehow this felt easier, less demanding, less real. She placed the plate on the table, sat down slowly. The chair made a soft sound, too loud for the silence. She paused, listened, then continued. The first bite was quiet, barely a sound, no background noise, no television, no phone lighting up beside her, just the small, natural sounds of eating and the space around them. She looked toward the window. The outside world was still there. Lights from other apartments, cars passing, people moving somewhere. But here, everything had slowed down, not in a heavy way, just enough. She took another bite, didn't rush, didn't think about finishing, didn't think about anything else waiting for her, because there wasn't anything, not tonight. And that didn't feel empty. It felt honest. There had been days filled with noise, with voices, with things to do and places to be. And she had moved through them, responded, adapted, stayed present. But this was different. This was the moment after all of that, the part no one sees, the part no one talks about, the quiet return. The stillness, the absence of everything that had filled the day. Elena leaned back slightly, fork resting on the plate, her eyes adjusting more to the darkness now, the shapes becoming clearer, familiar, safe. She realized she wasn't avoiding the light. She just didn't need it. Not every moment has to be bright. Not every space has to be filled. Sometimes dim is enough. She picked up her fork again. Another bite, slower this time, more present. Because there was nothing pulling her away from it. No distraction, no urgency, just the moment and the quiet acceptance of it. She finished half the meal, then stopped. Not full, not hungry, just done. She sat there for a few seconds longer, hands resting lightly on the table, listening to nothing and everything, the distant hum of something outside, the soft shift of air in the room, her own breathing steady, calm, uninterrupted. She stood up, carried the plate to the sink. Didn't turn on the light there either. The water ran softly, the sound filling the space just enough. then fading again. She dried her hands, walked back. The apartment remained dim, unchanged, and she didn't feel the need to change it. She sat down on the couch. The darkness followed her, not heavy, not uncomfortable, just present, like a quiet companion. She looked ahead, not at anything specific, just forward. And for the first time that evening, she felt something settle, not relief. Not happiness, something quieter, something deeper, peace, not because everything was perfect, but because nothing was demanding anything from her, and she didn't need to respond. Eleanor closed her eyes for a moment. Let the stillness exist, without interruption, without question, because sometimes the most honest version of a moment is the one that happens in the dark.